What is going on, everybody? We are gonna put some patina on our bronze statue here we painted in the last video. Go check it out if you want to see how this was done. This is all dry brushed with a wash of Agrax gloss. Now what I'm going to demonstrate here is how to put the patina onto bronze or copper for people that don't really like the patina on bronze and copper, because I don't actually really think it looks all that good to have this bright teal color caked in all the recesses and all over this like you see a lot of demonstrations. And even though it actually maybe looks more natural, like if you see the videos on the internet that demonstrate how to do this with actual salt and pieces of copper and acetone or whatever they use, I mean, it gets really teal or blue green. But what we're going to do is just a subtle effect, and how we're going to achieve that is we're going to use nilic oxide Citadel paint, and we're going to thin it way down with technical contrast medium from Citadel color. I want to demonstrate this with Citadel paints because I think a lot of people out there are familiar and use Citadel paints. And this is a piece of terrain from Warcry. So people might have this terrain that they want to paint themselves. Just a quick side to show you, instead of Citadel contrast medium, you could use Vallejo flow improver, airbrush flow improver. I really like this one for thinning down washes. You could also use Liquitex Flow Aid. This is another great one for really thinning down washes where you don't want to stain the surface quite as much and you just really want it to be a more subtle effect. So these three things, not a bad choice. Any of these will work. This one, maybe most likely you'll have this one already in your paint table or paint rack. So we're going to get started. As always, you shake them up. I have a little rattle ball in there. You might be able to hear it. And there's no exact measurement for this. I just know it's going to be really thinned out. So we'll use the piece of cardboard there, so hopefully you can see it well. And we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. So that's like 18. So we'll start there. That's like 30 drops. In here is just water. This is distilled water. I'm just gonna put a little bit in there as well. And the distilled water is just because I like to use some clean fresh water for like my wet palette and when I mix water with my paints, as opposed to using tap water or the cup where I clean my paintbrushes. So we're going to load up a size 6 ghost brush here with some nilic oxide, and I'm just going to stir it in. And I'm going to do this a couple times until we see an effect we like. Already, I think it's looking okay. So what's that? Maybe 20 drops of contrast medium to a few drops of water and 3 brushfuls. And there we go. That seems like a decent subtle effect. I'm going to rinse off my paintbrush. And that's just because I dunked it in so far. I got a lot of paint down here in the ferrule. And it's always good to not let paint dry there. So let's see how we like it. And we'll go ahead and start maybe here on the bottom for our first test area. And hopefully it just flows in the cracks. which it is doing, and is a much more subtle effect than if you go straight from the pot. That nitric oxide leaves such, I mean, it leaves such an intense blue color. So this is going to give us a much more subtle effect. You can see, like right there, just a hint. This is going to give us that patina that we like maybe to see on bronze, or we like to see it on models like weathering. But maybe you're like me and you just don't love it when it's caked all over the thing. And I don't think I'm going to even cover all of the different cracks and things in the hair. Some of these major ones though, I think those are a good choice. We'll kind of just let it, oh yeah, and you see there, like, watch it, see how it's just flowing down his hairline naturally? I'm not even touching it, and you can see the paint flowing. I could help it, move it along. That's because we have so much of that contrast medium. I mean, that's what contrast paint's doing. It's got so much of that flow improver type product in it that it helps it find all the recesses, which is perfect for what we're doing right now. And when this dries, it's going to be way more subtle than if you went straight out of the pot. And if you clicked on this video, you probably saw the finished product in the thumbnail. You could also check it out on my Instagram. I'll probably put up a photo when it's all done. So that's it. We're just going to cover all the cracks we see fit that we want to add some of this patina in. Any of the deeper ones I think are a good choice. But it doesn't have to be all of them. In fact, I think it's going to look better if we don't do all of them. Because I actually like the work we did on the bronze. I think it came out pretty good. Anywhere it's pooling, you can use your paintbrush to kind of absorb it back up into it. Now let's show you here on the face. I think it's going to be a kind of striking to watch on the face. Start here in this eye. I'm going to put some extra in the eye. Really make sure it pops the details. I was debating on putting another color on the eyeball. I don't know if I am or not yet. But I think doing this might be enough to just draw some extra attention to the eye of the statue without having to choose a new metallic color to dry brush or highlight it with. Maybe some in the eyebrow, definitely in the bridge of the nose here. You can use your finger too to wipe away. This is a really forgiving technique. So if you have like Necrons or maybe some Imperial vehicles and you want to add just that subtle touch of weathering, Stormcast Eternals, but you're not a fan of that big blown out teal bright color and all the cracks and crevices, then this is how you want to do it. Still get some of that visual interest without overpowering all the metallics you spent time building up. And we're just going to follow along and finish them up. So in effort to keep the video short, I don't think I need to show you the whole head being completed. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. We're doing a giveaway with some old paints. So go into my channel and go pull up that giveaway and go win. All you gotta do is like, comment, and subscribe on the giveaway video. And you could win some classic GW paints. I do a lot of live streaming lately. I've been having a lot of fun with that. So hopefully seems like people are enjoying that. So if that's something you're interested in, just having somebody to listen to and while you paint along, that's about what I can offer. I don't have any crazy camera skills or setup. So it's just somebody that enjoys the hobby and enjoys painting, sharing what I know to the best of my ability with hopefully other people who are equally interested in what we're doing, right? So there you go. You can see this is still a little wet, so it looks a little more prominent on screen. But if you look down here, you can just see there's just a hint. Look in his eyes there, down here. The wet areas are showing the most obviously right now because they're still wet, so they're reflecting light. But you can see now we've just built up this subtle weathering effect to take a little bit of interest and put it in those recesses. We probably could have done this faster with a bigger brush even, a little more loose. Really caked on this wash. Just let gravity kind of figure it out. Like that. You know, put a lot there, and then I can use the brush too to pull it back out. Maybe there's too much. Basically, as you deposit the nylonic oxide wash onto the model, you're having less in your brush. And because your brush is absorbent, as it gets less and less, you can then pull it back off from the pooled up areas because your brush still wants to absorb things. And there we go. Actually, looks like we hit the whole model. Now this little wash in my palette here is going to stay wet longer than it's going to stay wet on the model because this is a more concentrated amount and this is a much thinner layer here. So as it dries, if you want to add a little more, maybe you see a few areas that just, you know, maybe these the cracks in the cheek here need, really we want to boost those up. So keep your eye on it as it dries. Maybe you'll see some areas that you feel need a little extra. And there you go. That's basically how you're going to do a patina on bronze or copper when you're the type of person like me who just doesn't love the way it looks when it's just caked on the model. It looks too jarring, too bright, too powerful, too overwhelming. Nothing about the paint job makes me want to see the patina the most. But now we got a lot of that effect, but we haven't altered the main work of the bronze metallic. So there you go. That's how you can use the nylonic oxide and contrast medium to create a really cool patina effect on metallic paint jobs without overwhelming the project. Thank you so much. Please smash that subscribe button and smash that like button. I heard people ask people to do that before, so I'm going to ask you. And I will talk to you in the future. Have a good day.